Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Tito Savage of BSN Comics, and today we'll be discussing hiatuses and how they affect the manga industry and how in turn those affect the anime industry. Now, a lot of people who follow anime follow manga, and even if you don't, um, I guess one of the key components to anime is the fact that they originate from manga. So when a manga goes on hiatus, usually that's when fillers come out, or if the manga is not moving fast enough and the anime catches up, fillers happen. Now, hiatuses happen for a lot of different reasons. It could be a conflict between the artist and the writer. It could be a conflict between the creator and the anime house or manga house that they are actually pushing the comic through. There's medical reasons why a lot of manga artists go on hiatus and are not able to finish a project, or there's large gaps of hiatuses where it could span from 6 months to a year, 2 years, maybe even longer. There's smaller ones that One Piece and Naruto, the weekly mangas usually take, which are either on holidays or there's a reason, they have their own specific reason why they're just trying to skip ahead about a week or two. Most likely it's development of the plot, drawing of extra chapters to kind of get everything pushed forward. But at the same time, I feel like that they really hurt the industry, because when you have like diehard fans like Hesh Jones or Bellevex for Hunter x Hunter, or such as myself for Gangsta. Now I understand that Gangsta, it goes on hiatuses because of the creator. She has a medical condition. I'm not quite sure what it is, but she gets hospitalized quite a bit. Now there's some manga artists that they're just lazy and they don't want to create their content. They feel as if, I guess, that they're allowed to take a certain amount of time off and leave a series stagnant. Now, granted, yeah, there are individual people. They can do whatever they want. The art is theirs. But at the end of the day, that they sacrifice not content, but they sacrifice devotion to their specific manga. There's people who follow the manga religiously, and if you just take 6 months off or 7 months off because you feel that you deserve 6 or 7 months off, yes, you do to a certain extent, but at the same time, now all of your fans are just sitting here waiting. And when that happens, there's a lot of enthusiasm that gets lost for a particular series. And I feel like that's going on for Hunter x Hunter. Gangsta was a very hot, I guess, anime that's really coming up on, at least on Crunchyroll and a couple other sources. And I was hearing a lot of talk about it, and then all of a sudden just stops on the first season, which kind of broke my heart because I was a huge fan of the series and I really wanted it to continue. Hunter x Hunter I just started getting into, but I can see where a lot of people's frustrations are, because the same artist who creates Hunter x Hunter was also the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. The art's a little bit the same, but it's more updated with the new CGI graphics that a lot of the anime houses are using these days. But when you have such a devoted fan base that would follow you from Yu Yu Hakusho over to Hunter x Hunter, and you just decide to stop it, all of those fans are gonna get pissed. All of those fans are not gonna want to come back, or either that they're not gonna tune in all the time or try and follow your manga the same way that they would have a couple months beforehand. So now, where you were the main manga that they were waiting on, now you're the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th manga that they'll read and they'll get to you whenever they can, because now their time is filled up with something else that they have dedicated their time to. I feel that some of it could be warranted, but not all the time. If I understand that being a mangaka is a very large, it's a very heavy duty job. Most of them only receive about 4 hours of sleep. They dedicate 7 days a week. Even the creator of One Piece has said that he would only hire people into his to help him with his manga if they were willing to die for One Piece, which is kind of extreme, but I understand where his dedication and his commitment comes from. But that's the kind of mangaka that you want, because One Piece doesn't miss a beat unless there's a reason to miss it. And they constantly give you quality content, organic storyline and plot evolution, and very strong and in-depth characters. Now, if you have that kind of mix with any other manga, you would love it and you will follow it to death. But the moment that the manga, you have to wait 4, 5, 6 months in order to read the very next chapter, and you're left wanting, it drives you crazy. Why would I even bother trying to read this thing anymore? I might as well just move on to the next joint that's gonna pump out next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and still give me the same good quality content without all of the hassle of waiting for it. You know, it's not like you're gonna get any more excited when it actually does drop. And some of them, they'll drop for like 2 or 3 chapters and they're back on hiatus again. How we say it around here, you know, they're just teasing us, you know, and to me that costs fans. To me, that is not being true to your fan base. Granted, if you have medical reasons, then yes, you know, you're gonna take your time off. You're gonna have your, how should I say it, your time to relax. But come on, man, you don't need 7 months to take a break from doing something that you love. Honestly, if it was me and the way that I'm trying to create my comic on my own personal time, I would rather not even go to work and just work on that every day of the week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's how I would want to go about it. But I guess when you get to a certain status and you have a certain amount of hype surrounding your manga, you just feel like that you can take all the time off that you want. And honestly, I feel like that's not being true to your craft. I feel like you should be dedicated to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You take your time off, but make sure that you're giving your quality content to the people who push you to the top. Otherwise, you're just forgetting about us, you know? So, I'm Tito Savage for BSN Comics. If you like anything I had to say, please subscribe at the bottom. Also hit that like button, it really helps us out. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and anywhere else that you can find your podcast needs. All right, till then, I'm Tito Savage from BSN Comics. Have a wonderful day.